I lie. I cannot say that word anymore because
every time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I cannot say the L word anymore. It just like
Well, I don't see it.
I see it. I see
You
it.
do? Okay, I gotta go find it so I can share it. But we are in present. It's a gorgeous Monday, and now I am sharing it. So yes, it is running on my page as well. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Woohoo! I love the beach
Hi,
scene.
Lee.
Hi, Regina. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Oh, goodness. Yes, here we are on a bright and sunny Monday. And I am so glad to have my friend Regina here with us. So,
I'm so glad to be here.
so
I'm
if
so
you
glad I've
are
been watching you
new
lately.
to us, yes, if you are new to us and you are popping in to watch us on a Monday, and it's a lucky Monday because we can live stream it, because someday we just couldn't get it to talk to each other, and now we have to record it and then pop it back in. But today is our lucky day because I have my lucky friends with me.
Your lucky
So,
charm.
yeah. And I miss everyone over the weekend. Not, oh, wow. Yes, I do. I do have 2 days off, and that was wonderful because there's so much to do. But we are here, and I want to get right into the program because Regina is going to tell us a lot of wonderful things about herself and about the housing market. So I can't wait to hear and learn about it. So, Sarah, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay. Sure. Let me get back to my screen. Hello, everyone. It's good to be back. Happy Monday. I am Sarah M, co-host since March of 2020, since the COVID hit. And I grew up in Cambodia, next door to Lee, of course. We were neighbor without knowing it. Anyway, to make it short, we have a lot to cover. I grew up in Cambodia and lived through a a very hard time when the war hit our country and the communist regime took over, and they turned my life upside down, and my country also become very challenging, but I make it through. God was so gracious. He saved my life and he protected me, gave me a second chance. And not only that, God protected me throughout my escape. I escaped 2 or 3 times and finally escaped out of the country through the jungle. And I mentioned the jungle, and Lee will say something else to why I said the jungle. But anyway, I arrived in Thailand and found my relative in the United States, and he sponsored me to come to United States 39 years ago. And life has been nothing but amazing. I'm so grateful for this country and for all the people, especially the people that helped me get started with my new life. So now my life is getting a little better. It's my turn to give back what I received. And that's why we are doing this. We are doing this every day to share some of the lessons that we learn and some tips that we think it will be helpful. So um, that's all I'm going to say today. Just want you to know that I have a book. It's called How I Survived the Killing Field. Oh, my book is shiny. It's glittering. It's available on my website, sarahm.com. And I also go out to the community, sharing the inspiration and the encouragement that I can give to the community. So that's it. Back to you, Lee.
Thank you, Sarah. Wow, you know what? I was just kidding. I am here. We're here every day of the week. And honestly say, we have the Saturday and Sunday off, but they go by so quickly. And to turn around, it didn't even seem like I missed anything much for the weekend because just a blink of an eye, and here we are back onto the Monday again. And I am really happy that I get this chance to meet so many wonderful people. Usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have guests come to share with us their journey, their mission in life, and how they contribute to the world. Just like we all have our gifts, and that's how we want to give back, right? Like Sarah said. And why she mentioned the jungle, because when I met her, and I literally said that because she was a survivor from the killing fields. And why I was the boat people, I mean, we both got labels in names as who we are. We didn't even have a choice. So when I saw her, I say, when the jungle meet the ocean, we just could not stop talking because there's so much to share from what we have been through in the same period of time in 1975 to 1979. We both were struggle under the communist regime. She in Cambodia and I was in Vietnam. But then she took the jungle route and we took the ocean route. So here we are in the happy paradise lands that we actually can make a difference for ourselves and for the people in our community. So it takes us a long time. I mean, Sarah's got a little braver. She's got her book in 5 years ago. I just got mine out recently, and I also did express my I share my story on the TEDx stage. So you can find all of that on my website leetran.com. And I'd love to connect to all the people who have story and who want to share story and who want to be in our platform. So that's just a little bit about me, and I'm also a speaker, and I want to get my message out to impact other people as well. But today is not about us. Today is about our guest, our special guest, Regina Cruz Morales. So I met Regina 5 years ago. Instantly, I know she's going to be a friend for life because she's outgoing, she's driven, she has a huge heart, and like me, she's very bubbly and she's always connecting people. So I know, regardless I'm doing business with her or not, I know that she is someone I can count on, and I want to be in her circle, and I want she to be my magic circle. I've talked about magic circle before, and I'm always forming magic circle wherever I go. But Regina got a really cool story about how when she was even young, how she took herself out of a normal life to go to do service in a different country, and how she come back and what started her career. So I want you to pull a chair, pull a friend, come on in and meet my friend Regina and let her tell you her story and her life mission. So, Regina, welcome, and the mic is all yours.
Wow. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me. I am like a huge fan of both of you and your courage and your passion to do this on this platform for everyone to hear all of your insights and wisdom. It is so cool. And last night I was reading Lee's book, and I could not put this book down, people.
I did not pay her to do that.
No. I am saying this because I love Lee before I started reading this book. And the fact that if you see Lee on Facebook or on Zoom and you just want to get to know her better, this book will blow your mind. It is so good, so well written. And I appreciate you so much more now after hearing some of your story, just a little piece of it. And it's incredible. It's just incredible. And Sarah, I can't wait to read your book too. So I am from Wisconsin, and I know Lee knows a little bit about the North. She lived in Minnesota, so Wisconsin is right next door to Minnesota, very cold state. grew up there, went to high school and college there, and after college ended up in Boulder, Colorado, where I did an internship for recreation management and ended up staying out there for 5 years because I loved Boulder. It just had so many awesome things to offer. I was in my 20s. I mean, dancing and biking and hiking and skiing and just awesome food. So I loved it out there. But I found myself kind of stuck in my job. So I ended up applying for the Peace Corps. And in 2008, I ended up in the Dominican Republic, where I served as a youth volunteer for 2 years. And I made a lot of mistakes there. And I wanted to kind of like redeem myself and do a better job in another country. So I actually transferred to Ecuador as a youth volunteer over there. And it was two completely different scenarios, two completely different countries, mindsets, all kinds of great things. And truly, I was so grateful that I did the service in Ecuador because I no longer could stereotype a Latin American country a certain way because the two countries were so different. And coming back to the United States, I really had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I mean, what do you do after you've served in a third world country? So I ended up actually being recruited to Primerica and worked there and got a little bit of the sales training underneath my belt. And then my mom in 2013 said, why don't you get your real estate license and help me? So in fall of 2013, I joined forces with my mom in Keller Williams. So we both worked for Keller Williams Realty, and I've been a realtor now full-time for 7 years here in the Claremont area. And it's truly, like Lee said, we're both very bubbly, extrovert people. We love helping people. I know Sarah's the same way, and real estate for me is such a great fit because I can really meet a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life and truly, truly help them. And I believe that my gift from God is when I meet somebody and I listen to their story, whatever their need is, I will find that person that I can connect and then further push them along in their life to better their lives ultimately. And it's just so exciting and rewarding to see people come together and enjoy each other's lives. So, yeah. So that's a
So
little bit
you
about
moved to Florida in 2013 when you were helping your mom?
I moved back from Ecuador basically January of 2012. And then in September of 2013 is when I started practicing real estate. So, yeah, so I've been here 8 years now in Claremont where Lee lives.
That's awesome because seems like you have been there and you have such a wealth of knowledge about housing. And I thought you've been doing a lot longer than that. So, so tell us a little bit more about your involvement with the community. I mean, I know real estate is your bread and butter, but I think you are so much more than real estate because it's almost like every single community organization, that charity in Claremont here has got Regina's name attached to it. So I mean, you actually really brought that passion about helping people beyond the real estate, even though that's part of it. But you go beyond that to get your business through helping people from your heart.
Right. So when I first moved to Claremont, I didn't know anybody except my mom and my sister and their husbands. That was it. I knew 4 people in town. And because I love meeting people, I love challenging myself, I love giving back and volunteering, I immediately joined Kiwanis Club. So I got involved with them right away, and they give back to children in the community. If you've never heard of Kiwanis, but they give back to children. And I almost immediately joined Toastmasters to help improve my speaking skills so that I would be less nervous speaking on Zoom, speaking in front of an audience, all these great things. And over time, I ended up joining the Salt Lake Junior Women's Club, the Women's Giving Alliance, which is a philanthropy group that brings all their money together to do great things in the community. And actually, in 2 weeks, Lee, we're going to be giving a big check to Find, Feed, and Restore. So,
good.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, because
It's
I'm
gonna be
partnered up
really
with
exciting.
Find, Feed, and Restore right now for my book sale. So thank you so much for doing that. And
Yeah, I'm not sure if they know they're getting that. So, but it's going to be a great
your
night. When
secret
we
is
present
safe
that
with
check.
us.
Okay. And what else? Also, the Chamber of Commerce. I'm also an ambassador, so I will go to ribbon cuttings. Essentially, they're called ribbon cuttings, and that's when a new business opens up. We go in, we do a nice ribbon cutting for the business owner and congratulate them, and just bring the energy and welcome them to our community, and whatever else, church functions.
Well,
anything.
I think, like I said, anywhere you go, anywhere with a charity, with people who needs a helping hand, you will find Regina there. And actually, our path got crossed a lot of places because we were in Toastmaster together, we were in Chamber Ambassador together, and some of the other things that we do, we always see each other. And that's why I love this girl. She's got the energy of, somebody called me a Tigger. I think she is just another firecracker.
Well, thank you. Not every day's the same, but hopefully I bring it when I'm out in the community as much as I can. I love bringing energy and bringing people together. It's a lot of fun.
So obviously you have helped a lot of people who purchase, not first homeowner, but people who resettlement, or people who downsizes, or people who, so what's the market like right now in the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, here in March, mid-March is when everything kind of shut down, especially in the United States. And I would say if you had asked any lender or any real estate agent back in March, their outlook on real estate probably wasn't going to be too promising. However, for me, by the end of April, early May, I was seeing a lot of buyers still in the market, coming back in the market, wearing their masks, going back out in public, and purchasing homes. So, the news always portrays, unfortunately, very dim and dreary type situations. But I will tell you, there are still a large percentage of people with jobs, working from home, essential workers that are still getting a paycheck and are taking advantage of the low interest rates. So right now, today is what, October 26th, I think?
Yeah.
2020. Right now, we are seeing historically low interest rates still, and historically low inventory. Like, we've never seen month supply of inventory this low ever. That means it's about 1.9% or 1.9 month supply of inventory within a certain price point in the majority of the price point that we see buyers buying in. And what that means is if I go list a house today in 1.9 months, that inventory is gone. So that's not a very long time, right? And remember, it takes about 45 days now to close a property. So as far as the lending world goes, what has happened is because of the low interest rate, now you're finding people that are going to stay in their homes refinancing so they get a lower payment, which is the smart thing to do. Hopefully taking that extra money they use per month and put it into their mortgage, and hopefully they're saving it for their retirement now. So because of all of that, the lenders are the ones responsible, and the title companies, for doing those things for people, on top of all of the buyers trying to get into the market to buy resale and new construction. So the lenders right now are just really, really overworked. And normally a 30-day close is now turning into a 45-day close. So anybody out there that's looking to purchase, just really, really give yourself that extra cushion, because it gets stressful when you have to extend dates out. And for sellers, it's, of course, a great time to sell. The market in Florida here is still fantastic, and nobody really knows the future. Nobody knows if we're going to come down in price, how far we're going to come down, or not at all. And the beautiful thing about Florida is that we do have a lot of people moving to the state each and every day, and we have a lot of people that come here that are retirees, and they bring that with them a lot of cash. And so in our economy in Florida, we have a strong economy because of this cash flowing through the state with people that are retired, that are in that pension fixed income. So that really does help us out quite a bit. And you'll find a lot of cash buyers coming from other states as well, because we are still very affordable, I would say. You know, the average in median house now is in the 290s, where before it was around in the 250s. I mean, it really has gone up.
It's gone up
quite a bit, pretty quick.
well.
I don't know what else you want to
Well,
know
I
about.
think from my standpoint of view, when I'm here for 5 years now, I have seen real estate had jumped up. First of all, I want to say that it's really great information knowing that the demand is still high, inventory is low, meaning if you want to sell a house, you will be get snatched like quickly. And the second thing I assume is that now we are home. Lots of people are taking the time to do renovation. You know, either you sell and you relocate, or you renovate your home because you can do the refinancing to get more money to upgrade your home. And then another third thing, I think this COVID-19 really opened eyes for us that lots of people can work from home now. You don't have to go to the office anymore. So people actually can work and stay in a beautiful place that they can enjoy outdoor all year round in Florida. So if you are in Wisconsin or Ohio, that where you're cold, you actually can say goodbye to those places and buy a place down here and work from home. Right? I'm not doing sale for Florida, but that's the reason that we're here, because the climate and the weather. It just, I mean, I have to say that I suffer really terrible for allergy almost every year in Pennsylvania, and I would cough extensively. If I can attest to, my client would tell you how terrible my cough was. I mean, I would cough and they feel sorry for me because I could not talk to carry a conversation. Now I want to say that it takes me 5 years. It's gradually, but my body system is filtering, and I have not have a cough yet this year, and that's the major improvement for my health. And I you know, so I'm not selling you Florida, but you're gonna find a good way when you come down to Florida to vacation, because that's what people do, right? They want a nice warm weather. What do? They go Florida. So it would not be a bad choice to get a vacation home, or a home that eventually, that gradually, that you can actually see yourself settle here, work here, and stay here, and go bikings and canoeings and swimming all year round, pretty much. So I'm really happy. And then the other thing I want to talk about is, it's great information to know about the lending process. Take a little longer than normal, right? I mean, usually 30 days, now you say about 45 days. So probably is to, if you actually think about anything about moving, I would say contact and talk to Regina, because she can direct you a way of what to prepare and how to do it. So what are the tips that you can tell our audience besides selling and buying a home? Like given the inflation, the way that the housing market here, is it a good investment if they're not ready to come and stay? Is that Is that something that they can buy and rent it out and manage it from a distance, or any of those things that you can?
Yeah, so I was actually looking at the Florida realtors emails that we get, and one of the articles that they had posted in there was pertaining to different condo associations are not allowing short-term rentals. So in the area that we live, which is basically 192 with 27, or if you're looking at I-4 going towards the parks, all that area, Kissimmee, Celebration, all these areas south of Orlando, what you'll find is a lot of short-term rentals that people can buy and hire a property management company to run it for them. So it's a beautiful thing. They charge about 10% each month. So if the rent is, let's say, $1,500 a month, the property management company generally will take about $150 a month to manage that property for you. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, right now, I know a lot of people from Europe, let's just say, have invested in the short-term rental properties in Florida. And if a seller thinks that the economy might change and they want to get rid of it, it's still a good time to buy because the interest rates are so low. So when the government changes the interest rate, then it could go back up high a little bit, and even a 0.5% definitely affects a person's monthly payment. And in an investment property, the money down and the interest rates are all different than if you're buying a primary residence too, I should say that. But in Florida, I think because we have such a strong economy, still if a person buys now and it's a good deal, that and the numbers work out right, they're going to have a good investment. Now, if things change and the market does drop a little bit, you'll see the rush of investors coming in for sure to buy up a lot of the properties to then rent out. But I would say buyer beware, make sure if you're in an HOA type situation that you check with the HOA about the rules and regulations, because a lot of things have changed from COVID as far as that's concerned.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, so what is it, some tip to get the offer accepted? I mean, is there a big cushion that people can negotiate, or is it something pretty firm at this moment because the demand is high? And what is your knowledge about that?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. And I will say with Keller Williams, we're an open book company, so we share all of our training tips. And one of the best tips that I have received from Keller Williams is have the buyer write a letter to the seller. Have them put their name on there, on the letter, and be specific. Why do you like this home that you want to purchase?
Personal touch,
is it the yes, is it location? Is it the size? Is it the pool? Sometimes I've even had people say, oh, you have a cat, we have a cat, or you have a dog and we have a dog, all these things to build that rapport. But that I would say is your number one thing, to write a letter, because real estate is very emotional for both sides of the equation. It can be. Money does talk. Money does talk. So I would say for me, let's just say I'm your buyer's agent. I would run the comparables just like if I were to run the comparables for my sellers. And if there's any doubt that the house is not going to appraise, I have a conversation up front with the listing agent, and I'll say, which comparables did you use? Because we're this far apart from what I'm seeing, and if it's a low appraisal, I just want to make sure that the seller's okay selling it at appraisal price. So I do a lot of investigative work up front so that my buyers know, hey, this is the scenario, this is where the market's at, you're going to write your letter. I would suggest, because of supply and demand, to go above asking. In the end, the house has to be appraised. And if it comes in low, then you go back to what's called renegotiation between the buyer and the seller anyway. So that's, one strategy that I do tell a lot of my clients. We are seeing a lot of offers going over list price right now for sure, and multiple offers.
Well, I think that personal touch is a great advice, because a lot of time, if you have young kids, you say, "Hey, I look at your home and I see that potentially a place that for me to nurture my family, to build memory, and I really love the feel because it's got positive vibe, and I really want my family to grow in a loving place." So, I mean, I think if you just honestly tell people, they would say, even if somebody else offer um, a few thousand more, but because this personal touch would get that person, the buyer, the seller, to say, I want to help a family who's raising a family who, I love that personal touch.
Yeah,
And the
that's
other points I want to make is realtors is a dime and a dozen out there. It's so many. And you really have to know someone that you can really trustworthy to handle those big transactions. And why I'm saying that, because I had a really bad taste in my mouth when I sold my house in Pennsylvania. I got a lovely realtor before I met Regina, and I've got a really great relationship with my realtor who helped me here. But when I parted with my house, it was a lot of emotions, and the realtor did not really address my feeling. And it was a long story, but all I can say it is I really got a bad taste of my mouth. And I now knowing that, buying and selling a house is a huge decision. And if you have a realtor who actually be your friend and actually cater to not just the financial part and fight for you and look out for you, but also address your personal needs, it's golden. It's really hard to find those realtor. So I know that Regina is very personal, and she will definitely be in your side and fight for you. So that's what I appreciate about being a friend, because I see all those that in her as a friend. So I want to
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so Sarah, do you have any question in your end before I say it all?
go ahead, because Regina, and all those are all good questions. And I'm far away from you. I'm on the other side.
90-minute Tampa Bay is another great place to be. It's not that far.
Oh, that's where. Oh, we're gonna come visit you. We're coming to visit you
Oh
for
yeah, we're gonna
sure.
have a big party when this whole crazy thing's over.
We're gonna
Now
we're
she's
gonna
gonna have to
celebrate
build
both
her
your books.
backyard to look with matching with her background right now, because I'm already order a party right there.
I just wanted to say one more thing about purchasing
Uh-huh.
that a lot of people don't know. So now we are within that time frame. If a buyer wanted to buy a new construction home, if a person went out and made an offer this week or the following week, they would still have enough time to make the offer and have the lenders close by the end of the year. And why that's important is if you get a new construction, a lot of these builders want their inventory off their books before the end of the
Yeah.
year.
It's
So
all
a lot
tax
of
purpose,
times,
right? Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times I have seen builders negotiate prices so that the buyer, can have a great home for a really great price and give incentives towards the closing costs and all these wonderful things. So now is the time, if you were thinking about
Yeah.
buying a new home, it's a great leverage piece for a buyer to be able to go in there and say, I want to close before the end of the year and get a really great deal.
Right. And everybody is looking for ways to bump up their business during the COVID time. So people will make the magic happen to get transaction going through. So I would say, yeah, this would be a good time. And if your situation fit, anytime's a good time. If your
Right.
family, your situation, get the kids situated. I mean, it's like right now, a lot of us homeschool, and I think the school in Florida is going back full forces, I believe. But anyway, it's so chaotic. It's a good time to mingle in and make new friends, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so I want to thank you so much for opening our week on a Monday with a great conversation. And I don't have any more questions. I'm sure I do, but not at the moment. So if audience want to reach out to you, how do they do that?
Maybe you can put, I don't know if you can put on the Facebook live
You
stream my
can.
phone
You're in
number.
the group. You can definitely put your link and your contact information and your website so people can reach out to you.
Yeah. I mean, my phone number is 352-988-7488. I don't know if I should try to do it right now, but yeah,
Well,
please reach
yeah,
out to me.
whenever you can just put all your contact, like your
Okay.
website and your contact information in our group. And if somebody's listening to it, and hopefully they will be able to reach out to you directly.
Yeah, the best place to
Sure.
put is underneath the video that we are posting right now. So you just
Mhm.
put the link to your website and your contact information. That will be the best.
And I am in the
Okay.
process of putting YouTube of all our guests in my YouTube channel. So there's going to be more,
Awesome.
it's going to be more exposure, and hopefully, we got more of the people who want to check out what our conversation. We have it every day. So there's another place for them to check in. But our good times
Excellent.
gotta
Thank you,
end, and
ladies.
we want to honor our guest times, and then we want to honor our audience time. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact either me or Sarah, and we will address your need. If you have any people that you think that they have a story, you have a mission, they have anything they want to share with our audience, please also contact us, and we'll have you on our conversation. Thank you, Regina.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sarah.
ladies.
Have a great
Thanks for having
evening.
me.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. See you